Remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about Genesis 7, Noah's Ark. Keep in mind that when I said in the last video that it would be waves a mile high, I'm basing that on what scientists have said. I don't know for sure that there would be waves a mile high, but one way or another, there would be very dangerous waters all over the earth. I do think that it's obvious that they're right about that. So in this chapter, let's consider God's command, the golden rule, what sums up the law and the prophets. Let's consider what it means to be upright, to listen to this stuff, to be noble, and to stand with a certain righteousness. The Lord then said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 3 pair of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now," right, notice the number 7, the number of purifying, "I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. You have the 40 days and 40 nights that has implications on Exodus and when they left Egypt. "And I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made." And Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters came on the earth. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his son's wife entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. There you have that number 6, which has implications on the boundaries of God versus the boundaries of those who are wicked, who are like beasts, who are destroyed with the beasts in the story, figuratively speaking. But there's clear-cut connections there. Pairs of clean and unclean animals, of birds, and of all creatures that move along the ground, male and female, came to Noah and entered the ark, as God had commanded Noah. And after 7 days the flood waters came on the earth. In the great deep... in the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, on that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened, and rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, right? So there's this drastic change, this transformation that's going on, like when the Jews leave Egypt in the next book, which is Exodus. On that very day, Noah and his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, together with his wife and the wives of his 3 sons, entered the ark. They had with them every animal according to its kind, all livestock according to their kinds, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings. Pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going in there, male and female of every living thing, as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in. Then the Lord shut him in. Why didn't he shut himself in, right? The Lord shuts him in the ark because it is figurative. The animals going in there were male and female of every living thing, as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in again. For 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth, and as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth. So the Spirit of God, right, the Skywalker, the solar boat, when you see that connection in Egypt, right, where it talks about the solar boat, it's talking about something that's figurative. And these guys are borrowing from that idea. They're expressing it in a new way. They're concealing it in their own way for the purpose of governance, right? The waters we see represent the peoples, the nations, the multitudes, the languages. They represent peace and righteousness and well-being. They represent the Spirit of God. So the Spirit of the Skywalker, Skylawkor, causes Noah, right, on Alpha, Hone Alpha, to rise above everyone else in a very mighty warrior spirit. They rose greatly over the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. So all the idols of the world, the mountains symbolize the mountains where they worship, the idols that they worship there, and also the mountains that the Jews went to, Sinai, Horeb, Zion, what have you. The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. That is about 23 feet or 6.8 meters, or rose more than 15 cubits, and the mountains were covered. Every living thing that moved on land perished, birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that move along the ground and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. We see in James, like the body without the spirit is dead, faith without works is dead. So their works are pitiful, their spirit is pitiful, and Noah is in his own zone, in his realm with his family and with the spirits of the animals. Right? The Royal African falcon martial order spirit, the lion of Judah, the spirit of the righteous lion versus the devil as a roaring lion, right? The clean and pure animal versus the unclean and impure animal spirit.